And this fight is fantastic. I mean, we've seen really good action from both sides. I think you're right. I think we've got Gaethje is probably winning this fight.
I feel like you could give him all 3 rounds, even taking away that uppercut in that last.
And that's in the second
round.
I could see the argument for that. Gaethje's been a lot busier. Those hooks have been really doing some damage that we never see Ferguson really taking.
Well, let's see how Ferguson responds here. Round 4. He has another contusion underneath his cheek right there. His let's see, right cheek.
Oh, good inside leg kick from Gaethje.
I think he's waiting for Tony to throw some strikes so he could hit him again with that overhand right.
That's what I'm thinking, especially when he exposes himself. We know that he's got that blind spot.
Front kick to keep him honest. Okay.
And then, they have these ice packs that they put on swelling above the eye and on the head when you're in breaks. It's hard to apply it directly to the eye, though. And so there's not much you can do with when your eyelid is literally swollen,
Even his nose is swollen up. So basically, Tony's not going to look the same for a couple days. If he has facial ID on his phone, ducked by Gaethje.
Yeah, that could have been a really bad spinning back heel kick.
Yeah,
yep.
That was you talk about just the creative moveset that Tony has. Like, no one can mimic it. Only Tony could be able to have the stuff he does.
And that's why I love watching Tony Ferguson fight so much. And it's a shame that he's never been given the true opportunity, really, for the actual championship. He's always been offered interim championships, or the fights always fall through with Khabib. But Tony has been one of the best fighters to not be the legitimate champion, in my opinion.
This round's so far a little bit more even. We're about 3:30 into the 4th round right now, guys.
Yep. And Gaethje has still landed some really significant, hooks that he's been doing. Landed another one, right as I say that, right to the chin. That left hook is still deadly.
Props to Tony's chin, because I think a lesser fighter might have been on the ground already.
I would probably be down, honestly.
With some of these blows that Gaethje has put on him.
I would be out. I would have been out probably in the 1st round.
Because these aren't passing or glancing blows. They've been straight on the chin. They've been in his eardrum. They've been in his eye.
Yep, the temple, everywhere. And Ferguson keeps going. There was one time in the last round where Ferguson backpedaled, but that was only for about 30 seconds. Shook it off and then kept going.
That's a little I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a weird shuffle front kick.
If you are a WWE fan, he tried to do a bro kick.
Exactly.
That little. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Bicycle
kick. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Honestly, props to Gaethje too, though. After that 2nd round, that uppercut, I thought he would have been much more shooken up.
Be able to compete completely in the 3rd round, dominate the 3rd round, I would say. And oh my God, what is this?
I think Ferguson might be
Ferguson was running away from him.
Yeah.
You never see Tony running away from people.
No, not like that. So he must have been feeling something. So I'm thinking that there was a slight exchange where maybe Gaethje clipped him and he saw that, okay, Ferguson is hesitating now.
A little bit of leg issues, I think, too, because he stumbled there.
Yeah, and you can see him sort of limping. He's not able to close that distance, and he doesn't have that normal fluid movement that he has. He's changing stances a lot, and I'm talking about Ferguson in this case. Yeah,
he's not bouncing around on his toes. He's not doing the typical Tony side-to-side shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
But watch, he does his little spin.
Yep. He's still doing Tony as best he can, but it does look like there is some type of injury, maybe a leg injury of some kind.
Joe Rogan said it, just the efficiency in each of these blows, I don't think there's been a wasted strike by Gaethje. All these strikes have been meaningful in some way, have made some kind of impact.
Yep.
And most of them have been hard contact.
Yeah. Looks like a low blow. So Gaethje, I think, got kicked with a spinning kick to the genitals. So hopefully Manscaped can do something for that and help you heal your nuts.
All about keeping the perfect package together.
Exactly. Ooh. Good head movement after the throw.
I mean, if you are Gaethje, I feel like you can feel comfortable saying you've won the majority of these rounds. He doesn't necessarily have to finish Tony.
I think that's my worry is I think you're right. If I'm in now, I'm not going to tell Gaethje to necessarily just stop and chill. Ooh, good leg kick.
Got him with a leg kick. Got Tony stumbling forward.
Yeah.
You've dominated this fight, in my opinion.
Yeah. I chose Ferguson, and even with my bias towards how much I love Ferguson, I've got to agree with you, Ju-Ju, that Gaethje is winning this fight at the moment.
We see a lot of action here at the end of the rounds. Let's see if Ferguson tries to do something crazy. No,
He's still going.
Oh, that was a long 10 seconds.
Yeah, that was. All right, so we're going into the final round, and I agree with you, Ju-Ju. I think Gaethje is winning this fight.
Even if you gave Tony that second round because of the uppercut, you can still mark it 3-1 right now, Gaethje.
Yeah. No, I agree. This is the most we've seen Ferguson struggle. And I think it's a few things. So one is Gaethje is just the much better fighter when they're closer up than Ferguson is used to, because a lot of guys, when they're getting hit by Ferguson from range, they continue to back up. Gaethje does the opposite, where he might get hit with a good jab and a good straight, which is more of a long range punch, but then he's getting in closer and closer.
Let's listen to this. Sure. I was kind of curious what the coach was saying in the corner, but I'm pretty sure his coach is pretty much telling him the same, like, hey, you're in control on this one. Don't take any stupid risk.
Yep. No, I agree. I think, and if I'm Tony's corner, I'm saying, like, hey, try to finish him.
You got to go balls out in this round if you're Tony.
Yep.
And hey, if there's anyone that could end someone quick.
Yeah. Even that takedown was a little interesting. So he went thumb down inside into the low ankle to do sort of a weird single leg ankle pick type movement. It wasn't successful, but it was a really interesting creative move from Tony Ferguson. But, Ju-Ju, to your point, I think that just shows Ferguson being a little bit more desperate now, and that he's trying really unorthodox things to push that pace.
Now, here's the thing. If he tries to get, because again, anytime he's tried to come in hard on Gaethje, he's been greeted by a Gaethje like right hook,
Yep. Oh, like you said, right there. Talking about those hooks.
Exactly. It's like you're sticking, it's like sticking your dick in a hornet's nest right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a murdered hornet's nest.
Yeah, even worse, right? So we're 1 minute into the fifth and final round. It's 4 minutes left. And Gaethje is still, I'm surprised. I didn't think Gaethje had this good of a gas tank compared to Ferguson, but he's moving the whole time.
Give the credit to Denver. Damn, his leg is bleeding too, man.
I know. Blood everywhere. This has got to be a fantastic main event. And I feel bad for these guys because there's no crowd there to watch it. I think the crowd would be going wild.
They would be all over some of these strikes,
They would absolutely love it. And so it's sad that these guys are competitors. They'll fight no matter what, but they're not getting
he rocked him. Got him hobbling back
again. This
Maybe
could be
Gaethje is trying to finish him now.
I think Gaethje could be. And that's the thing is Gaethje had the ability to stay patient. He didn't have to push it, and that's when things open up is, hey, I'm patient. Now I can go in and start doing my own thing.
Well, when you got an opponent like backpedaling, stumbling, we saw it in the Ngannou fight. Sometimes you just got to hammer down, And maybe for Gaethje, the difference between a decision or a decisive victory like this, and a great example of Tony's unbended moveset there, he did a somersault ankle pick attempt.
Yep.
But back to Gaethje, I was like, the difference between being a decided the difference between decision victory and a knockout.
Yep.
Could be imperative for him and potentially gain a firm title himself. This is for the interim belt as is.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, we've been talking so much about this Tony versus Khabib fight, but Gaethje's putting himself in that conversation.
Oh, and then he just landed a left hook, and that looked like it dropped Ferguson. It could have been a weird slip, but Gaethje, you're exactly right. He's now in that conversation, and I think we see Ferguson slip back. And unfortunately, Ferguson's getting older. I don't know if we ever see Ferguson fight for that title again.
Yeah, I mean,
especially after this, Gaethje
another just solid strike. You're Rogan there with And that's right, because the pops on these, man.
Yep. But props to Ferguson. Somebody had put in the Twitter, I couldn't read who it was, but they're like, Ferguson's chin needs to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. Like, he's taken hit after hit after hit, and he keeps coming forward.
Yeah, seriously, like another fighter probably out in the first.
Yep.
After some of those hits.
Oh, Ferguson is wobbled now. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Gaethje loves to do that, like, backflip off of the cage. Didn't work out so well there on the cage.
That is really incredible. That is really incredible. Props to Gaethje. Good call on that one, Ju-Ju.
Ferguson's a little pissed. Okay, well.
But it was sort of weird in that it looked like Ferguson had called it off himself. I guess let's listen to the commentary.
He was stopped on his feet. Well, at the end when he got stunned, it looked like he was shaking his head, like it wasn't like nothing, like his body wasn't functioning correctly after he got hit with that shot. Herb Dean, the best in the business. Herb Dean took a look at him. He's like, I've seen enough. Yeah, I want to see that end sequence again, because when Justin,
I could see that frustration for a fighter when a stoppage happens on their feet. Yeah. But if you're Ferguson, you were pretty much out on your feet,
Yeah, I think the result would have been the same. At the very least, we know Gaethje was winning that fight.
Yeah, if this went on the last 60 seconds of the fight. Do we seriously see Tony making a turnaround?
Yeah. And you can see him literally limping away. He's backpedaling the entire time, and he's shaking his head. And what I imagine could have happened is Herb Dean saying, like, can you continue? And while Tony's trying to shake off those cobwebs, it looks like, no, I can't continue,
Yeah, I mean, we saw something unique from Tony in this fight twice, him running away from Gaethje,
Yeah, it was very... very unlike Tony to run away. And that's how props to Gaethje. He had him hurt. Like, he obviously had him hurt.
It was, in this fight, entirely on their feet. Not a single takedown attempt in this fight. So, it's incredible. Definitely our fight of the night.
Yep.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
Incredible competitors between Gaethje and Ferguson. And there we go. Okay, so, I mean...
They ended up hugging it out.
They ended up hugging it out. I mean, so no need to call Ferguson a sore sport about it. I could see him being pissed off in the moment. No, get the fuck off me. I don't want to hug you.
Yeah, and they're competitors, and this is for the interim belt, right? So obviously you would be pissed off too if you lost, especially if you're still on your feet, right?
And it means more for Tony.
It does.
Coming
to the end of his career.
Referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 39 seconds of round number 5. Declaring the winner by TKO and new interim UFC lightweight champion, Justin Gaethje.
And I called it.
You got me on that one, Ju-Ju. I mean, we got the rest of them right, but you got this one. You got
undefeated on the main card.
You went undefeated on the main card, Ju-Ju. We need to put money on this.
MMA Ju-Ju right here. MMA Ju-Ju.
Great job.
Justin, you came in here tonight. This was a fight that, because Nurmagomedov couldn't make it to the April card, you were slated to fight then on short notice, but you had the opportunity to truly prepare for this fight, and what a performance. Has it sunk in? I mean, how good do you feel about that fight?
I knew I was a killer stepping in here. I'm good, bro.
I'm sure you are. You also
I'm good, bro.
No better drug on earth. Adrenaline coursing through my veins. This is hard work. I've worked since I was 4 years old. It's each day at a time. From
when he started wrestling.
Past one day, and you just have to be better than yesterday. That's all it is.
What we saw from you tonight is not just what we always see, which is incredible aggression and spectacular technique, but you were more measured. You were more calculated. Tell me about that.
I have a world-class coach. I had to lose to change. Can't fix what's not broken. Once I understood what was wrong, I was getting hit too much. And I was honestly having too much fun. Both times I lost, I became complacent because I was having so much fun. And at this level, you absolutely cannot do that. I was fighting the best in the world. Khabib was the best in the world. I've been working since I was 4 for challenges like this. And, I'm happy to represent the United States of America against Dagestan or Russia's best. He's 28-0, and there's no other challenge I want right now. I want to fight him.
Well, I can't wait to see you fight him. Now, tell me about this fight. Tony Ferguson ate some incredible shots.
He's going to hide in Russia from Gaethje after those strikes.
You hit him with
I would be too.
kitchen sink.
I'm
talking about dropping bombs, man.
Yeah.
There's no surprise.
Now, at the end of the fight, when Herb Dean came in and stopped the fight, when you saw he was staggered, were you surprised?
I feel bad for him because if that was me, I'd be fucking pissed. Because I came in here to die. I told my coaches in the back, you're not going to like me, but I'm going to die tonight.
But that's true. That is the fight.
You have to, though.
You're losing for me. It's about not disappointing myself.
It's so unlike any other sport. I know it would never happen, right? But there is a microcosm of the risk you could.
Have a human services degree.
Someone knocks you on your head wrong.
I'm a human social work somewhere. I'm a police officer. I want to work with at-risk youth. I'm a killer in here, but as soon as I step out of this octagon, you will not see that in me.
Props to Gaethje
in the biggest fight of your career, you performed brilliantly. This was truly a spectacular fight and an honor to call it. Congratulations. Really amazing. I don't care. Congratulations. All glory to God, man. My parents, to be a good parent, you have to lead by example. You never tell your kid to do something and do the opposite. If you're gonna say something,
to my kids out there,
you show it.
Go kick everyone's ass on the playground.
That's why I'm the person I am. Lead from the front.
Congratulations, sir. Justin Gaethje, ladies and gentlemen.
Ngannou, hell of a main event.
I'm here with Tony Ferguson. Tony,
what a
first
fight.
of all, amazing fight and just an incredible war. What did you expect coming in here, and what, if anything, was surprising?
Man, it's been a long fucking camp. I'll be real. We've been preparing since November. Obviously, the agent didn't follow through with Khabib. Obviously, Justin was the only one that wanted to sign on dotted line. Just a long camp, and then just, the weight cut had nothing to do with it. Justin's a tough son of a bitch. I'll be real. I'm prepared for Khabib. Not too much of a striker. Shit happens, man. We can't do it.
You said it.
You did compare Khabib. I'm still excited.
Yeah.
Even though I stopped, I wish I would have walked in. I got finished.
Well, you are a champion, and I'm sure that's how you would have wanted to go out. Give us your thoughts on what happens from here. Do you go back and reassess, or do you jump right back in?
Let's go back and get, the consolation rounds. You have to win back, and you have to obviously earn it. Props to Justin, like I said, his team. Tough son of a bitch. And thank you for taking the fight, Justin. Hopefully the crowd, everybody, family, and friends. Remember,
I think he falls to that gatekeeper status.
Hopefully you guys enjoy the fight, man.
Have you never hit that pinnacle?
I love you, son.
Now you're stuck. Sort of where Donald Cerrone was over the past 4 years.
I mean, we know for Khabib, Gaethje, that makes sense. That's probably the fighters that they're putting together right now.
Well, Daddy's coming home on.
But
Justin Gaethje is the new interim UFC.
But yeah, no, for Tony, it's a weird one. He doesn't have like a direct line back to Khabib.
Yeah. No, I think that's the thing is, and unfortunately, Ferguson may go down, like I said, as one of the best fighters, if not the best fighter, to not win the actual title. He won some interim belts, and it was unfortunate that they were never able to unify them. But I think now you can't justify giving Ferguson the Khabib shot. Maybe if Khabib beats Gaethje, or I guess either way that fight happens, right? If Gaethje wins, you might be able to say, okay, yeah, let's do the rematch. But it's still gonna be hard because everybody's gonna say, well, Ferguson needs another fight before he just gets either the rematch with Gaethje or the Khabib title. And it's like, you now run the risk of Ferguson lose that? And once we saw him take a lot of hits. Once your chin starts to go, it starts to go.
And hey, he didn't officially. He didn't get knocked out in the traditional sense,
Yeah, so. He wasn't out cold.
Yeah,